Okay, what is up guys, it is Cubane here, and I'm bringing you my very first FIFA 17 video, and today we're doing the youngest squad that you can possibly get in FIFA 17. Well, when I say that, I mean it's not technically date of birth youngest. I've picked a team full of 17-year-olds, which is all the youngest players in FIFA 17 are 17 years old, and I've picked a team of 17-year-olds, sort of shoehorned them into a bit of a 4-3-3, which is what you're seeing on the screen, and I'm going to show you some clips and just sort of talk through who the good players are, who the bad players are, who I enjoyed using, and what I really think of this team. And I'm going to go ahead and say, first things first, Jonathan Leko, the West Brom lad, wow, what a player. Rated bronze. And he is by far and away the most impressive player in this team. I didn't really know what to expect coming in. I expected a bit of quality from Martin Odegaard and maybe Leko, but I wasn't sure. You know, he's a 64 rated bronze and he's got a lot of pace, don't get me wrong, he's got a lot of pace. But I didn't know whether he'd have a lot to go with it, and boy oh boy does he. I was thoroughly impressed with his credentials basically, and I really enjoyed using him. Nice little goal here, by the way, Asuro, who disappointed to start with, but that's a lovely finish. He disappointed in my first couple of games. I played about 6 or 7. He disappointed in the first couple, and then he popped up with this goal, and it really sort of kick-started his scoring run for me. He really started to do well after that. So I was actually impressed with him in the end, and I was going to say he was a bit of a flop until then. But no, I'll run you through the team quickly. So we've got Donnarumma in goal from AC Milan, obviously a good solid goalkeeper. There's a couple of nice clips of him in this video. We've got Kalahar from Lechia Gdansk, Polish. We've got Reece Oxford. Now, he really did impress me. He was a solid defender, great on the ball. He was probably, arguably, alongside Leko, the best player in this team. And for any Silver Premier League teams, I would thoroughly recommend him. He was fantastic. His partner at the back was Van Drongelen, who's a Sparta Rotterdam player. Obviously, Sparta Rotterdam based in Holland, in the city Rotterdam, sort of the second team of that city, as it were, because Feyenoord are the giants. At left back, we've got Neufville, I think I'm pronouncing that right, another West Ham player, so a nice little chemistry link with Oxford. He was, you know, what you'd expect from a bronze. I think he's rated 57. He's what you'd expect from that sort of left back. He did what you'd expect. He did his job. He didn't offer anything spectacular. In the middle, I got really excited with these three because there's some good players in here. We've got Dozzell from Ipswich, he's a top player really. Big future, and in game he's actually pretty good. A 62 rated bronze for a championship youngster is very high. So I was thoroughly impressed with him as well. He was very unnoticeable basically for the first couple of games, and I think the last game, in this sort of highlights reel I've given you, the last game he really stepped up. He scored a fantastic goal which is included in this video. And he did thoroughly impress me in the end. Like I say, a couple of these players started very slowly for me, and as I started to use them more and get used to them, they really sort of found their stride, and I really enjoyed playing with them. The other guy in the sort of central defensive midfield role is Omar, who is a Trabzonspor youngster. He's Turkish, once again 17 years old, as everyone in this team is. Really good player, did sort of the quiet jobs, broke up the play, very good at doing that, breaking up play and distributing the ball to one of the lads that can play, mainly Odegaard, who we'll move on to next. But yeah, Omar, a bit of an unsung hero, and you know, the team wasn't the team without him. Odegaard, who was the one player that I thought was going to give this team a bit of an edge, and boy did he. His passing is really top draw, guys. That's why I included sort of the two wingers with a bit of pace. Because I knew he'd be able to release them. And in a lot of these clips you'll see that he's actually playing a really nice through ball, or maybe one over the top, and they're running onto it and causing all sorts of damage, even scoring in a couple of instances. But he really was a sort of linchpin of our forward lineup, and the one that really made everything happen. It was sort of a case of win the ball back, get it to Odegaard, and he'll do the rest and release one of the quick players going forward. So I was thoroughly impressed with him, as I expected to be really. And he was actually cheaper than I realised. I assume it's because he's from Norway. The car was cheaper than I thought, but Yeah, he was about 800 coins, I think. Maybe I just got a particularly cheap card. So let's move on to the front line, and we're going to talk about Lottin, who, unfortunately, you know, he just let me down. Really, he was not the player that I thought I was getting. His stats are great. He plays for a great team in AS Monaco. But he just didn't deliver. His finishing is... I think there's already been one clip. There might be another one of his finishing just really letting him down. And his final ball was also very poor, to be honest. He got on a few good positions, mainly due to his 82 pace. But it just wasn't a card I enjoyed using at all. And it didn't feel at any moment like he could finish a good chance or get a good delivery into the box. On the other wing, the complete opposite, we had Jonathan Leko, who I've previously touched on in this video. Just an absolute different class to these other boys. 64 rated bronze, so not, you know, he's not really highly rated, this guy, but he is so quick. He's got that 89 pace, which definitely helps. But his finishing is great too. A couple of times Odegaard would release him, he'd get in good positions, and rather than cross it, he'd take on the shot. And I think a couple of them deflected in. Sort of, you know, a bit of luck, but you make your own luck in this game, I think, and he just gets in behind so much, and he's so dangerous. You've just got to get in behind, get to that byline and pull it back, and it's a goal every time. But he really was top draw for me. And that brings me on to the final player, which was Asuro, who plays for Sunderland. He's a bit of a hope for the nation in Sweden, so I'm told. And they think he's got a very bright future, and I must be honest, when I started using him, I thought that he was absolutely abysmal, but he really came good. A couple of nice finishes in this video, I think. A couple of missed chances, but he's a 63 rated bronze. What do you expect, you know? And once again, he was a contender for sort of flop of the week, but wow, he turned it around, scored some goals, and I really did thoroughly enjoy using this team. I'd recommend it. You know, if that's what you're into. I've detailed the player names and that here. They're very easy to find. Yeah, I'll just bring you on to this last little bit. We've got the star of the week and the flop of the week. Obviously, the star is Leko, as I've detailed. Fantastic, really enjoyed using him. And the flop had to be Lottin, who he just really let me down for what I was expecting. Bearing in mind, it's one of the best cards, if not, I think it's the best card in the team, bar Donnarumma. And it's such a letdown for me. So anyway, guys, I've been Cubane. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It really helped me out. Comment below some of the young players in FIFA that you love using. And if you enjoyed it and you want to see more content, hit that subscribe button and there'll be more to come.